My neighbor keeps interrogating any guest I have over at my apartment. I moved into my apartment a little over a year ago. I'm a normal and respectful neighbor. I work from home, have my partner and friends around once or twice a week, and go to bed at a reasonable hour. I don't play excessively loud music or have parties or am rude when I see my neighbors in my common areas, but I do appreciate my privacy. There is an older lady who lives across the hall who I was warned about by my real estate agent upon moving in as being a nosy pain in the butt. She's about 70 years old with no family, no friends that I've ever seen, and doesn't work. A lonely old bat is what I'm trying to say. And she is very active on the HOA committee. I think you understand the type of person I mean. She's got a crumb of power over a teeny tiny kingdom and wants to exercise it. Oh, and she likes the sound of her own voice. If you let her start talking to you, she'll hold you hostage for ages. Since I moved in, she has questioned my partner, my brother, and 3 friends when they were coming in about what they were doing here and who they were here to see. They were all polite, but rightfully felt very put off by this interrogation, as if they'd done something wrong, which they absolutely hadn't. The first few times it happened, I kind of understood. She's an old white lady and my brother and my partner are tall-looking men, and she might have been scared in a way that a lot of old white people are, if you know what I mean. But today she stopped my blonde female friend, who was carrying a sewing machine, coming over for a craft day. Hardly threatening, if you ask me, and wouldn't let her go until she told her who she was at the building to see. Obviously, this behavior has got to stop, but I'm unsure of how to approach it in a way that won't inflame her and escalate the situation. I actively avoid this person and rarely see her outside. Ideally, I would slip a polite but firm letter under her door saying that she's made my guests feel uncomfortable on numerous occasions, and I would appreciate her not questioning people she doesn't recognize. Yeah, I don't think a note under the door is going to be what this lady wants. If anything, that's just going to set it off even more. The fact that she's stopping and interrogating everybody who comes into her building is absolutely atrocious. I mean, I would personally warn my friends and my family members when they're coming over to ignore this lady at all costs and to just keep walking. You don't owe anyone any kind of explanation for what you're doing. They could even go as far as recording the interaction as they're walking by, so that if this lady suddenly gets handsy and tries to get their hands on you, you can absolutely stop, go to a safe place, and call the police. I have neighbors like that, and the best thing to do is just to shut it down at the start. I don't think a note is the right way to do this, but absolutely she should approach them and say, hey, you've been making my friends uncomfortable. Stop interrogating everybody who comes in this building. And if she wants to take it to the next level, then by all means, take it to the next level. Go to the HOA committee that she's apparently a part of and let them know that this lady is harassing you and your friends and that you would like it to stop. But I can tell you that doing nothing and doing some passive response is clearly not going to work with this lady, because for a person like this, it seems like you might need to fight fire with fire.
The full version of this story is on the Am I the Jerk YouTube channel, and there's a link to that down below in the description. And if there are any updates to this story, they'll be there in the same link. I'm sure by now a lot of you guys realize that a ton of these stories are actually submitted by you, the person listening. And there's no special requirement to submit a story. You yourself could submit a story right now if you wanted to. It can be completely anonymous. In fact, that's encouraged. And that way you can freely and openly share the most juicy secrets of your entire life if you want to. So how do you do it? Just go to AmITheJerk.com/submit. Make sure you read the rules before posting, but that's it. You just go to AmITheJerk.com/submit, read the rules, and post your story. Then you could check back on future videos to see if your story made it or not.